Hey everybody, Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, back with another daily deck tech video, and today I have another viewer request. And if you would like to see your commander made into a deck tech, drop it in the comments down below. We'll get that done for you. And by we, I mean me. And if you have a deck that you've built that you would like to see showcased to everybody, I would be more than happy to use my platform to get your creativity and build out there. You can always drop the Moxfield link in the comments down below. Give me a small little description about what's going on with it, and we'll see what we can do. And if you're having trouble with the deck you've already built, go ahead and drop it in the comments down below. I could fiddle with it and see what I can do. I may not be the world's pro Magic player, but I've been playing for a long time, and I'd like to think I'm not the worst deck builder in the world. But without further ado, let's get straight into Wernog and Bjorna viewer request. So I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I know that these are originally some form of secret lair, but I don't know which. So we're going to look here. Oh, this must be Stranger Things. I'm gonna guess. I haven't watched the show, but that's my best guess. So I have Bjorna here, and Bjorna is a 1/3 for 2, and you can tap and sacrifice an artifact, and Bjorna Nightfall Alchemist deals 1 damage to target creature, and then you goad that creature, and I love goad, so thank you for this request. And then we have Wernog Rider's Chaplain, which is when Wernog Rider's Chaplain enters or leaves the battlefield, each opponent may investigate. Each opponent who doesn't loses a life, and you investigate X times, where X is 1 plus the number of opponents who investigated this way. Investigation, of course, gets you clue tokens, and then they're friends forever. So I'm going to try to do 3 things with this deck. We're going to try to generate a lot of artifacts. We're going to try to sacrifice those artifacts to Bjorna. And then, in addition to that, we are going to have a sub-theme of some Goad in here, because I love Goad. So let's see if we can make a functioning deck. This does say bracket 2. There is 1 extra turn card in here, and it's Time Sieve. Just wanted to let you know that in advance. And even with using the cheapest versions, it comes in at about $4.40. So not the most budget friendly, but is definitely something that you can work towards. And you can always go with cheaper cards than what I picked out here. So who do we all have? Well, first and foremost, we had to throw Academy Manufacturer in here because he combos with a ham sandwich. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying I did not put Clock of Omens and Nuka-Cola Vending Machine in here, which, if you do, you can generate infinite tokens doing that. So feel free to do so if that's your jam. If not, I understand. But Nuka-Cola Vending Machine and Clock of Omens with Academy Manufacturer. I mean, heck, this card combos with a ham sandwich, but if you would create a clue, food, or treasure token, you instead create 1 of each. We have Agitator Ant. At the beginning of your end step, each player may put 2/1/1 counters on a creature they control. Goad each creature that had counters put on it this way. Pretty simple and straightforward. Archivist of Ogma, so whenever an opponent searches their library, you gain a life and draw a card. We got Baleful Strix, which is an artifact. It's a burb, and it has Flying Death Touch, and when this creature enters, you draw a card. We have Bartolome del Presidio. Spanish is not my native language, but I'd like to believe that I got that at least somewhat correct. We have Sacrifice another creature or artifact and put a 1/1 counter on Bartolome. We have Crime Novelist. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm pretty high on this card because the manager at the local card store that I go to pointed this card out to me for Jaws, and now I need to get one for Jaws. But he has, whenever you sacrifice an artifact... Oh, sorry. The dry air is getting to me. Put a 1/1 counter on Crime Novelist and add a red. 1 second. I gotta take a drink of water. My apologies, friends. Next, we have Disciple of the Vault, an oldie but goodie, which is whenever an artifact is put into a graveyard from play. 1 second. I gotta cut for a moment. Holy. Sorry about that cut, friends. You ever get that dry air tickle in the back of your throat that just causes you to go into a coughing spasm? That happened for me. Oh, thank goodness I didn't die. But we're going to go back here to Disciple of the Vault. An oldie but goodie, which is whenever an artifact is put into a graveyard from play, you may have target opponent lose 1 life. Now note, those tokens do hit the graveyard before they poof into non-existence. We have Displacer Kitten, so whenever you cast a non-creature spell, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent you control, and then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. So we do have a Blink theme in here as well for our Wernog. We have Erdwall Illuminator, so whenever you investigate for the first time each turn, you can investigate an additional time. We do have Hexing Squelcher in here. He can't be countered, ward pay 2 life. Spells you control can't be countered, and other creatures you control have ward pay 2 life. We do have a little combo in here with Iorith of the Healing House and Marvin Murderous Mimic. Not only can Marvin copy the ability here, but also with Iorith, if you have Iorith and Marvin, if you've managed to generate a ton of clues and things like that, you can just tap and untap between these 2 cards and your Bjorna to pretty much do it as many times as you can fuel it with artifacts, which, when you have the other things, can ping out. We do have Jan Jansen, Chaos Crafter. He's a 3/3 for 3. Haste, sacrifice an artifact, create 2 treasures. Sacrifice a non-creature artifact, create 2/1/1 colorless constructs. We have Kambal, Profiteering Mare, which is whenever 1 or more tokens enter the battlefield under your opponent's control. For each of them, create a tap token that's a copy of it. This triggers only once each turn. Whenever 1 or more tokens enter the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses a life, you gain a life. We have Lotho, who creates a treasure, and you lose 1 life. We have Marionette Apprentice. Fabricate, and whenever another creature or artifact you control is put into a graveyard, each opponent loses 1 life. We have Marionette Master, which is Fabricate 3, and whenever an artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to Marionette Master's power. We got Mirkwood Bats. We have Nadir's Nightblade, which is whenever a token you control leaves the battlefield. So here's our Pain and Drain effect, primarily being used through Bjorna. We do have Piper Wright in here, so whenever she deals combat damage to a player, you investigate that many times. And whenever you sacrifice a clue, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. I actually used Piper Wright to get really huge and then just beat the crud out of people with it. It's very interesting. Professional Facebreaker, which is whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure, you can sack a treasure, exile a card from the top of your library, and you can play it. We have Ragus, Deaf Gastronaut. He's a 2/2 for 2. With artifacts you control are foods in addition to their other types, and have pay 2, sack, you gain 3 life. And then you can pay 1 and tap it, sacrifice a food. Ragus deals 3 damage to each opponent. At the beginning of each end step, if you gained life this turn, untap Ragus. Oh my god. We have Reckless Fireweaver, 1/3 for 2. Whenever an artifact you control enters, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. We have the Red Death. I love this card. I have the deck that I built for the Deck Tech bookmark because I'm going to build this. This is actually going to be the next deck that I build when I get the other stuff done. He has Goad, target creature and opponent controls. That player draws a card and you add 1 red. We have Tataru. This is also fun because with this card here, see this guy? And then you have this and this. You can do this infinitely and make everybody deck. We have Tataru Taru, which is whenever Tataru Taru enters, you draw a card and target opponent may draw a card. Whenever an opponent draws a card, if it isn't that player's turn, create a tap treasure token. It only triggers once a turn. Thought Monitor. It's got affinity. It flies. It's a 2/2 that draws you 2. Think of it as like a Mole Drifter, but gets to stay around. We have Blasphemous Act. We have Disruptive Decorum, which goads all of your opponent's creatures. We have Savine's Reclamation, and we have Thoughtcast in here. Instance, we have Anguished Unmaking. We have Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshares, right? Those are our removal. We have an Offer You Can't Refuse for... It is a counter spell, but we're using it for treasure tokens because it triggers off of some other stuff. Deadly Dispute, sack a creature, draw 2 cards, create a treasure token, or you can sacrifice an artifact. Disorder in the Court, exile X target creatures, then investigate X times. Then return the exiled cards to the battlefield tapped under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Eerie Interlude, Ephemerate, and Momentary Blink, as well as Personify, are all here to blink things. And then Officious Interrogation, which is this spell costs an additional Azorius more to cast for each target beyond the first. Choose any number of target players. Investigate X times, where X is the total number of creatures those players control. This is very strong if your opponents are playing Goad-wide decks. For artifacts, we are running Arcane Signet, Basilisk Collar, which is really good with Bjorna because she does ping something for 1, so you can kill it. Bloodthirsty Blade, which you can attach to an opponent's creature, and it makes it goaded. Boros Signet's in here. Izzet Signet's in here for mana. We have Conjurer's Closet, so that way we can, blink our Wernog. We have Cranial Plating in here, since we're going to be making a lot of tokens. We have the god-awful Akark Clan Ironworks art here. Sack an artifact, gain 2 generic mana. We have Oni Cult Anvil, which is whenever one or more artifacts you control leave the battlefield during your turn, create a 1/1 colorless construct token. Activates only once each turn. You can sacrifice an artifact. The Anvil deals 1 damage to each opponent. You gain a life. Panharmonicon, Rakdos Signet, Skull Clamp, Time Sieve, which I already said was in here. And then we have the Thopter Foundry Sword of the Meat combo, which is you pay a mana, sacrifice a non-token artifact, create a 1/1 blue Thopter artifact creature token. With flying, you gain 1 life. And with Sword of the Meek, you sacrifice it, it gets brought back with the Thopter, and you can just keep doing that to make a whole bunch of Thopters and gain life. Which will also, with the artifacts leaving and dying and entering, will also trigger a bunch of your other cards. Enchantments, we have Acquired Mutation. It goads a creature. We have Eye of Nidhogg, goads a creature. Shiny Impetus, goads a creature. Candlekeep Sage, whenever commander creatures you own have, whenever this creature enters or leaves, draw a card. We have Storm the Vault, which is whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a colorless treasure artifact token. And at the beginning of your end step, if you have 5 or more artifacts, you transform it into a Tolarian Academy. And then for lands, we are running a little bit more expensive package. It is a 4-color deck, so we pretty much have to. We are running the tapped lands for a little bit more budget, but we have Academy Ruins in here. We are running Shock lands. We are running Fetch lands in here. We are running Triomes in here, and we are running Uthros in here. I did update to cheapest. This is the cheapest it gets, friends. So, yeah. Let me know what you think of the deck in the comments down below. I think it could be pretty fun. I think I might have split the themes into too many, so it might be a little clunky. But, of course, all of my deck techs are just here to give like a basic setup, and then, of course, you make it your own. But as always, I'm Weston with the Hidden Gibbon. I'm going to go hope that I don't cough to death, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.